I said good day, sir!
Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the Defense Season 4. I am Toby1, bringing your live stream from the DOTA studio for this wonderful competition, sponsored by ISO with $25,000 up for grabs. We're approaching the very end of our group stage. It only took us 2 weeks to get to this point, but you know what? A quick thing can be a good thing as well. Let's jump ourselves into the draft, and we'll see if this game is going to be, well, I'd say as quick as the last one. The last one was decided pretty early on, but it did take some while to actually finish the game. We do go into game number 2, and it'll be Alliance versus zRage for this one. And joining me in the commentary box for the first games today is Clairvoyanceman. Welcome back to the broadcast.
Thanks for having me, Toby. The bans are already set in place, and we're about to go into the first pick. There's still Lifestealer, Darkseer, and a Lone Druid in the pool. And Lifestealer will be the poison they pick.
And it will be, man. Easy way to go for S4. Go with what they like. They go with Lifesteal. They can just destroy everything. And zRage, I'm wondering if they try and pull something different out right now. Like, they tried the Tinker in the last game in the first 2 pickups. They just say, you know what, Tinker didn't really work for us. We never really found the space needed for it. We just try and find these powerful heroes we enjoy combining with. Like, there's got to be something that they really enjoy playing that they can do.
Yeah, you know what it is with second game psychologies that I never really agreed to? Is like, it's basically this, like, so they pick up the Bane as a counter to Lifestealer, but as also a potential counter to the Lone Druid, Bulldog style long lane. They take the Nature's Prophet because they, obviously Alliance would have taken it otherwise. And yeah, leaving that option, they have to let the Lone Druid pass, and then they just give up Lifestealer and Bear. But the second game psychology thing with changing up picks and stuff is, well, basically, if they had picked the Kunkka, if they had taken the Tinker from last game, it might have very well been a lot more successful than last game. And the thing is, when Alliance does that kind of stuff, like what they did, buy all those blade mills and just completely, for the lack of better terminology, just clown around the whole Tinker pick in general, just using blade mills to kill them off, it's going to put fear into Sharpeak and say, well, I can't pick that hero. And as a matter of fact, it was reiterated by your statements as well, because it just didn't seem like Tinker worked out. But in my head, if you pick the Tinker again, you might actually be not only able to force the same heroes coming out of Alliance, of which you've already taken one, so you can't have the same draft, but also you're more prepared for the scenario, so you might be able to just do a round 2 and take off the victory like that. But as we see most of the time, with a tier 1 team going against the not so tier 1 team, most of the time the tier 2 teams or so on, they like to pull out something from their pockets. And with the very standard bans coming out, I think zRage is also going to set up for a pretty standard game as to what they play.
Well, I kind of wasn't looking for standard from them. I was looking for something which was like a lot more out of the box, aggressive kind of Russian style. Like let's bring in Night Stalker again or something along those lines. But not in this scenario right yet. So zRage, let's look at your third pickup after the bans are completed. So support's been taken out by Shafiq. He takes out the ST, takes out the Rubik, takes out the easy coupling heroes. But then again, at the same time, if Alliance want to again that Shen's still in the pool, they can still have someone, I was about to say like Leshrac, which they can combine up nicely with and just destroy with. But they go with the Visage, who was banned out before. He's going to come in here for Alliance. And this now opens up the possibility of an aggressive tri-lane on the top lane too. You're up against a Bane and a Leshrac. Bane's defensive in nature. Leshrac, he really needs someone that can couple with him, and if he gets caught even slightly out of position, then he's going to be initiated on very, very harshly. That's going to be the biggest problem for zRage. This could just be Alliance leaving Lone Druid on the bottom, so they go with someone who's got stayability. They get a Weaver on the field. He can lane up against the Lone Druid. There shouldn't be too much of a problem with that one. And then Clockwork as well. That's not what I was expecting to come off from Alliance as the next one.
Most definitely not. Like, the Clockwork player is limited between, pardon me, from what I've seen, Bulldog and S4. As a matter of fact, I don't even recall the last time S4 played it. I just know that Clockwork can be played at the mid lane. And seeing as how we have a Lone Druid already, it leads me to believe that this is an S4 mid Clockwork. I was actually thinking that Night Stalker is a very fantastic pick against all of zRage's heroes right now, with the Silence and the Mini Stun pretty much doing everything possible to shut down Nature's Prophet, Bane, Leshrac, or even Weaver with the Silence. But yeah, they decided to go for the Clockwork, to my surprise, and I kind of feel like it was sort of picked in order to block it. And yeah, looking at the mid lane ban setup with the Queen of Pain and the Puck, it leads me to really believe that S4 is trying to shut down all the ranged heroes that can destroy a Clockwork at the mid. Yeah,
But
force a 1v1
didn't
melee
need
matchup.
it. They didn't need to pick it to block it though, because we had one more ban to come.
Right. But if he had used that to ban, then he wouldn't have been able to take out the Puck. In which case, it would have either been forced to be picked up by somebody, or he would have to take it. And I just get the feeling that this is just one of the games where he doesn't feel like playing Puck.
Tiny is the final hero from zRage. This is an interesting kind of selection because we know now, like, I say no, most Tiny players won't go a long lane just because of the mana issues you have with Tiny in the very early stages. Jakiro to be our final one from Alliance. So, yeah, S4 Clockwork, and that does give us our aggressive tri lane on top. Tiny's going to have a really, really rough time. Up against Visage and Jakiro, you throw out that Avalanche, Visage is like, sweet, soul assumption charges.
I think we don't have to worry about that. Every time I've seen zRage pick it, yeah, it's Sharfik taking the Tiny. He likes to play that mid ganking Tiny back from like the 20 patches ago meta or something like that, where you get the bottle and you get the phase boost or treads, whichever you prefer. Go around, start smashing things and trying to get kills. It actually works out a lot better. I say a lot better. It's not the biggest difference, but the toss has been buffed in the recent patch from 10-second cooldown to 9. So it does help a little bit towards the spammability factor. And against Clockwork, it's pretty good too, because if you think about it, anytime Tiny gets initiated on with 2 heroes, he can toss the Clockwork away from him. And that's pretty good. He can also toss Lifestealers and Rage away from him. You can't toss the light on top of the Lifestealer that's Rage. But yeah, it's a slight nice mechanic that could go in their favor in certain situations. So with that said, the players are rotating and the puppy is pausing.
Yep, the puppy in the form of Arke as the Visage. So let's look at our lanes to start off with. We'll actually look back at our base and see Admiral Bulldog as the lone druid. Won't be no surprise to see him go towards that bottom lane. EGM sitting there as the Jakiro. Loda hasn't picked up his hero, but he'll be here in a moment. Already S4 is heading up towards the top lane as the Clockwork Goblin. And checking out his item build, he's looking to prepare himself for some rough times ahead. Couple of consumables and having an extra gauntlet, so maybe early earn as well. Arke, he'll be running around the top lane, sentry wards in his hands, and then through Z-Rage, Shafik will be as the Tiny, Nexus the Weaver, that puts Jordan over as the Bane Elemental. I still pronounce him as Karkor, but I don't know if that's still correct. Leshrak and Ink.
Just call him Lesh.
Yeah, Leshrak is good. And Nature's Prophet, the last one, Ink, will be the final one back at base. And that wraps up our lineup. But we're going to wait for Loda. We're always waiting for Loda.
Yeah, man. Load of time is a real thing, in case anybody had forgotten.
He's got to go do his hair. That takes time, you know. That takes time.
Oh, come on. He doesn't need his hair done. He always wears a cap.
Yeah, but you know why he wears a cap? Because he always does his hair to work with the cap.
It's the white man's version of a do-rag.
It takes more time to get that synergy between cap and hair. That's why when Loda was told to take it off during the EMS land final, it's like, what?
Really?
Yeah.
They told him to take it off, and he didn't take it off?
Actually, no. He had it off. He had it off, and he came in. He's like, should I go get my hat? I was like, nah, it's cool, man. Don't worry about it. You were supposed to look like a pro player anyway. It's like, yeah. It's on the last night, because obviously Alliance had a really, really bad run at EMS for land finals. They got destroyed by, would you believe, the Nemesis Mouse Sports. Yeah, he came in after partying all night long with, actually, who was he out with? I think he was out with Fly and someone else, but they ended up spending most of their night in a place where lovely young ladies do wonderful dances. Trying to make it sound clean.
Well,
a clean entertainment with a buffet is where they went to.
Is this the same kind of buffet I'm thinking of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Not a Game of Thrones style of buffet, right?
Well, normally the host won't kill you, so yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. Oh, you forgot to mention spoiler alert. You
No.
know.
Who says I'm spoiling anything? I might just be like referring to anything randomly. How many times have hosts killed? How many times people have been killed in Game of Thrones where the hosts have done it? Yeah, a lot of times, man. A lot of times. All right, let's start off our game because we do have our aggressive tri lane now up here on the top lane. And they're already starting off with their deep warding. So they take care of that top rune. They say, you know what, stay away from here. Nexus just sits on the cliff, watching him destroy what he built. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane is Admiral Bulldog down here, S4 middle lane. So every lane is as expected, with Shafiq in the middle lane and Nature's Prophet going long with a defensive tri lane to come off with the Weaver. Probably the only thing which we could have said maybe we could have changed up, but considering how aggressive this top lane is, they do need a slippery little sucker on that top lane.
Yeah, it's definitely going to help. As a matter of fact, zRage have a really strong tri-lane in terms of the safe lane tri-lanes. So with the Nake's nerf on the open wounds, it's going to make it very hard to initiate and combo up with the Ice Path. Of course, they still have the Grave Chill. But at the same time, I was really wondering if they were going to do it. And it turns out it has to favor Admiral Bulldog in his lane, so why not? And I think if they go even on this tri-lane against the Weaver, they're going to be satisfied, because Admiral Bulldog's going to win his lane against the Nature's Prophet.
All right, now Weaver, Leshrac, and Bane all being very iffy. Okay, Nightmare. Leshrac follow out the stun. Weaver with a little bit of harassment damage on RK. He went Grave Chill first level, so Sentry Ward's going to go down. They might even pick up First Blood right now. RK, he's taking too much damage, and it will be. First Blood goes the way of the Bane. Talking about trading even, not going to happen. There you go to Jewel Breath from EGM, but now he's stunned up at the back end of the line. Nexus wants a little bit more damage, but he doesn't have himself that generated attack. And Loda forcing the other heroes off. EGM's going to force Bane to walk around as well, but First Blood already spilt.
Yeah, you know what? It's normally with that kind of First Blood, first of all, it was kind of expected. Once again, zRage, their tri-lane is really strong, which is why I was kind of wondering if Alliance were even going to do this. The good thing about all of this is the lane is pushing. Now, with the lane pushing and Loda getting Feast level 1, it means he can't get aggressive, and zRage knows. But as soon as Loda hits level 2, his damage is going to be coming out just as well, but he's also going to have magical immunity if that's what he opts for. Because he's not going to get level 3 anytime soon, so I feel like Rage is a better option. And once he takes that, EGM and Aki, they can do what they were doing. They can play aggressive, try to find this Bane off guard, or try to find Leshrac, and they can land the kill.
Let's actually have a look at our other lanes too, because I checked out S4 in the mid lane, and before this bottle arrived for Shafiq, he was completely out of mana. I got a funny feeling he threw one Avalanche and then got mana burned out and just had nothing left after that point. S4 was just controlling him out perfectly, and now is 12 for 3 up against a 4 for 0 Tiny. Melee on melee in that middle lane. And on the bottom lane, Admiral Bulldog, 10 for 7 up against a 3 for 5. So at least some good deniers coming off. Meanwhile, on top lane, Loda, well, there's a Nightmare up on him. Leshrac won't get there in time. RK takes the stun, he'll take the stun as well. And RK, he just does it for the team, man. He's got a Soul Assumption, he's out of mana. Nexus will take his life, at the same time Bane's going to tip over. And Loda, well, he wants more, and he could find it too. Leshrac going to get the stun, a nice double stun too. As buying Nexus time to attack there on Loda. At the same time, EGM, there goes the Jewel Breath. So support on support, carry on carry. TP out in time. Leshrac, he's going to get out. They got the kill on Loda, and now with a Prophet TP in, they can look to go on to RK. RK's got Soul Assumption back again. He can look at somebody else. Who does he want? Moving around quickly. There goes the Soul Assumption out into Jotum. Loda returns to the lane. EGM still a long way up here, and Nature's Prophet. His clarity's going to be popped up by Loda attacking him. But it still becomes 3 for 1 with this top lane getting some support for zRage. And Ink?
Yeah.
Okay, he's going into the tree line to TP back down.
Yep, he actually needed mana. So I'm not too sure if this decision to the bottom lane was worth it. But this is essentially the problem once again. You saw Loda, he was able to drop the open wounds and they secured the kill on the Bane, but at what cost once again? Losing 2 supports, no, not 2 supports, pardon me. 1 support as well as the main carry in the tri-lane. And throwing away the lane that was already pushing into this scenario where zRage, they can pull now because they counter-warded in the midst of all this. So yeah, once again, zRage getting themselves in a good position. Loda is not too far behind. He's level 3 now, which is a big deal. Means he'll probably have a level in Rage unless he does something different again. And there it is. With that Rage, he's going to be able to play so much more aggressive. He won't get stunned up by the Leshrac like that. The Bane won't be able to hinder his movements. And the 4-minute rune comes out. It's going to be a haste rune at the bottom. The haste rune, whoever secures it, means that they'll either get the 6-minute rune guaranteed, or they'll be able to gank with it. And it looks like it's Shafiq.
Oh, ganking with that. Even if he wants to go for Admiral Bulldog, it's going to be a rough time, but it's probably the only time too. Before he hits that level 6 up on Bulldog. Problem is, he's being watched by a creep, so he doesn't want the vision to be there. And Admiral Bulldog almost leaves Bear there in time. But there's just no mana in the Tiny right now to go around and gank. And Admiral Bulldog's keeping very, very close tabs on him, keeping that Bear behind him. Notice the CS board, man, because this for me is the crazy thing. It's 30 for 10 in the middle lane up against a 14 for 1. It's so imbalanced as far as that farm has gone in the middle lane. And then even up on the top lane, 20 for 4, Lotus managed to find, up against a Weaver who has 10 for 0. Sure, they're finding kills up here, but they're missing out in experience now. zR have attempted to try and do like a pull-through, like what is now just a Wilkin as well as a Troll, and Alliance denied off an entire creep wave. Well, S4. He's going to hook shot his target in haste. Goes in the battery assault, and Shafiq says, get out of here. Wow, that's a really long toss. I didn't actually realize you could toss that far. I don't know if you managed to see that one, Claire. I think I actually might have just lost him for a moment.
Oh dear. I was coughing, so I had to mute for a second. Yeah, the toss is 1300 range, and once again, this is just why Tiny is decent pick against Clockwork overall. But at the same time, you were mentioning the CS, and numbers really do tell the tale on this one, because Clockwork, he destroys a lot of the heroes in the mid lane, especially melee ones. With that cog, there's so many tricks you can do with regards to mana burning and creep positioning that it might just not be fair against melee heroes. And yeah, Bulldog is just completely crushing his lane right now. The Prophet's 11 for 5. He's got a glove recipe in his inventory, but that's not going to help him in this lane whatsoever. And then we have DOTA, who you said is maintaining the top 3 on the CS. Once again, I feel like after all the kills that zRage has been finding, their levels on their supports are not that high because of the sheer amount of movements they had to do. So I feel like they lost somewhat of an advantage they could have kept up, because EGM being level 4 in the long lane, the Jakiro, it just doesn't help their scenario whatsoever. And Aki doesn't really need levels so long as he has a Grave Chill and Soul Assumption, which he does.
There's a rotation just came out from Shafiq. He was hoping to gank up the bottom lane, but obviously no rune available for him, so he still gave it a shot, having the illusion rune. Sorry, not no game making play making rune. Then on Bulldog, he felt the missing from mid, so he just went to ulti form and just kept farming up against Nature's Prophet. Shafiq just rotated and basically wasted a minute.
Yeah, and another note to Bulldog is this. I talked a lot about Bulldog's bear tricks, because he's obviously the master of the bear, playing it so long. He's keeping the bear at level 3. This is, in my opinion, it's quite abusive, because he levels it up sometimes. Yeah, he just leveled it up to entangle again. If he got the entangle off again, what he would have done is probably try to resummon the bear right after, and that would have been a 3rd entangle if he got lucky, which would secure a guaranteed kill on the thing. But meanwhile, Loda's getting stunned up.
Yeah, Ice Path won't get there in time, and that's a nice snipe off. That was just the 2 supports working nicely together, and then EGM going to TP out this one, and he will get out there in time. Because they already used all their stuns to control up the lifesteal. They couldn't stop his TP. But it's nice, smart play coming out from zR. While it might be defensive to start with, they're really finding their combos nicely. And with that burst damage as well, like you talk about Latrak being a little bit lower on level, he went 3 points up in that Lightning Storm. They've got 2 really good nukes coming out from the 2 supports here, and then they combine it up with just the Swarm. So you've already got the armor reduction of 1 that helps him out a little bit more. And next with his normal attacks, and he's also got time-lapse now. So it's even harder for Alliance to try and contest that top lane, and while Shafiq might have really been shut down a hell of a lot by Clockwork Goblin, Clockwork, he's going to find arcane boots, or is he going to go into drums? He's finding some kind of items, but there's still more to be played out with the Weaver finding his farm, with the Latrak and Bane with their combination. zRage just have the power in this game right now. And I say that, but I want to keep my eyes on Afro Bulldog at the same time.
Yep. So S4 is going to pick up his treads inside base, and he's going to rotate with it, probably. He does have 1.2k gold, and yeah, there's the treads. It's such a good item on Clockwork, especially because you can attack faster inside the cogs. But yeah, the big thing, once again, is the top lane. They are finding kills. zR, they're picking it up where I felt like should have been a huge advantage is just becoming a slight advantage. And once again, this is in favor of Alliance, because even all these deaths, Loda can play extremely aggressive, as you saw. He just walks up to the Weaver to test how scared the Weaver is. As long as he has the rage to fall back on, he can do any sort of aggressive movements. And if they go even, we see the other lanes once again, Toby. It's 52 CS on the Clockwork, 52 on the Lone Druid. Their farm is not stopping. Bulldog's picked up the Midas recipe. He's about to finish his Midas right now.
Top lane, a little bit of fun for EGM. He's already got the bugs on him. Prophet only going to bounce on through too. That's some really nice burst damage for him. S4, however, rotate up towards that top lane. And Jotum actually stays alive a little bit longer. Clockwork latches in, but next is going to time-lapse out the damage. And this is going to be S4 going down right now if he's not careful. Able to stay alive, and Loda Well, he's picked up the Leshrac in this mix. He's about to take the Nature's Prophet. A quick sound, open wounds. He'll keep going. Tiny has taken out that Clockwork, so he's rotated up. And now it's Loda, who does have his Infest, which he'll use. He's in a dire creep at the moment. EGM wants to buy some space, and that's enough space for Loda to say, I'll pop out of this one. And then Weaver tossed in. Not quite sure he really wanted to be in there when he's popping his Tranquil Boots, but either way you look at it, ZR, they're still finding blood on that top lane. They're finding a hell of a lot more kills than they were in that first game. Or Shafiq, he just used his combo. I thought maybe Loda would feel enough aggressive. Yeah, with the Ice Path too. They could have had a crack there at the Weaver. Or at least dropped him down a hell of a lot.
Yeah, they could have done additional damage, but once again, this Weaver already had the fear put into him. When EGM casts spells like that and Loda can always just walk up to him, he knows so long as he's alone in the lane, he's going to have trouble so long as he doesn't have full mana. Because right now, never mind. I thought Shafiq was going to be able to do something, but I checked his mana and he's pretty much out of mana.
Yeah, he's got full one-shot. S4 wants to give it a shot, though. He's right as well. You're out of mana. Let's give a crack at this one, and then toss straight back out again. Then Leshrac's like, no. Refusal at the gate. Refusal at the gate.
Gosh.
S4, now the stun. They're going to miss Soul Assumption. That's going to be enough to kill off the Leshrac. And then over towards the Tiny. Looks like he missed out and he's still on S4, but then with a Brain Sap, the cogs are down, and they're just going to attack him from range. Maybe enough is enough, especially when you combine with the Prophet ulti.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised to see that Aki ran away from that engagement faster than he did. If Aki stayed in, S4 would have been able to pop Battery Assault and cog 3 of them, and that would have been a triple kill. Also, because S4 was able to get the Illusion Rune, the Tiny was ahead of S4, but he must have misclicked or something and let S4 get the rune and fill up his bottle. So with the illusions there, he would have been able to fight. But yeah, Aki backed off, and that's something that I would not expect from him.
Maybe he's giving a little bit of respect after what happened during the early game on the top lane. And they got to realize this game can't be completely in the bag. They're only 1,500 ahead in gold and 1,000 in experience. And as I said, if they lose this game, it gives the possibility for Quantic to have a draw between Alliance and them. And then if that starts happening, we get playoff matches. Just like we'll have the Na'Vi versus Mouse one coming up on Thursday. And that's going to be one hell of a matchup. Because there's a lot at stake. You get that #1 position in the group, and then you're taking the winner's bracket semi-final position already. That's what you get from the defense. If you take #1, that's why every game in the defense group stages means so much. Was that support rotating top? Yeah, Shafiq's coming in. There's a Sentry Ward already down for EGM, and Loda as well as EGM move back. But they might see if they want to use EGM as bait. They've lost this top tier 1 tower, but. I think Shafiq kind of feels they're a little bit too far. Yeah,
they saw him with the ward, so backing off is the initial thing, but I felt like they could have actually just sniped him off with the open wounds as well as all the spells.
Load up. Fiend's Grip already up now for the Bane. He wasn't ready for that one. He walks into the lane and gives the gold away.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that movement out of Loda was actually fine.
Mid lane, Avalanche, toss him back up to the high ground. Now Leshrac. Now he can finally get his stun off if he can. Familiars, well, they're in the neighborhood. He gets a 3-way stun with a Soul Assumption and the last right click up the hill for Arke. It brings down that Nature's Prophet. That really was looking like a very, very nice combo. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Weaver actually gets a kill on Jakiro, even underneath that Sentry Ward. The pickoffs are coming for ZR. They're finding the farm. They're finding the levels. Even though they're like losing the bottom tier 1 tower, they still took the top tier 1. Then they can shut down Admiral Bulldog later in the game.
Well, the Nature's Prophet going down did kind of even out the engagement, but the Weaver solo kill was most definitely big. And the fact that Weaver's able to do that in front of the tower just means that, yeah, EGM will have to play a little bit back as well. His spell cast animations, of course, mean that Jakiro just cannot be an initiator, and when you have a slippery fish like Weaver going on top of you, you're most likely going to have a really difficult time hitting those spells. So in the meanwhile, we see Loda still going up and playing really, really up. He doesn't care if he died 3 times. He's going to keep playing really aggressive on this Weaver because, yeah, once again, he can assert this kind of dominance so long as he's a life stealer. In the meanwhile, Shafiq does pick up the Illusion Rune at the bottom lane, and I'm curious to see what he's going to do with that one.
I'm sure he would have preferred to have a Haste Rune or a DD or something along these lines. And top lane support's coming in. S4, he's looking for a latch, but Nexus out of range of that Sentry Ward. Makes it impossible to do so. And S4 not coming in with Dust, so he didn't have another option there. Shafiq likes to walk into Ice Paths. And there comes the support. Toss.
Oh,
Off it
that
goes.
toss.
And it's Jakiro. Bane's right next to him. There's still Fiend's Grip available, but he's waiting for Loda to come in, but he needs the extra space. Now Loda's arrived. Fiend's Grip going to be worth it, but he can't save the Shrike in time. zRage just bailing out. S4's going to be right behind it. Wait for an open wound. Nature's Prophet goes down the middle of the mid lane. And they are going to focus on Shafiq. Loda, he's already used his Infest, so he's not going to catch up. Prophet and Shrike going down. Really? That could have been a hell of a lot worse for ZR. And now they're going to get Bulldog. The Entangle was just used up by the Bear, and Shafiq with the Avalanche. He's got to keep that Bear out, and there's your Brain Sap. They get the kill on the lone draw in the bottom lane.
Yep, the control that you were looking for, they finally found it. I actually don't know how they found that one. Bulldog, especially seeing the heroes run away like that, I thought he'd take his talent to the jungle, but boy was I wrong, because he got picked off by the Bane as well as the Tiny that was retreating from the mid engagement. And yeah, you say it could have been a lot worse, but I still feel that toss, man, I don't know. He's been doing that a couple times this game, like just completely overestimating the abilities of his heroes. And yeah, this kind of stuff is just giving zRage not as much space as I had imagined, but they're still getting it somehow. Yep. They were pushing the tower just now, and they're backing off now. But Loda, is he chasing to Nature's Prophet? No, he's not. He's giving it up.
He can't. Not up against Nexus when you know support can come in and Prophet's. All he's got to do is basically just sprout and get himself out of there. Loda doesn't have a Quelling Blade on him, so he can't cut through the tree line. And that's going to be a problem for him. And now smoke movement. Leshrac and Bane. They're on a walk, and I'm guessing they're going to have a Prophet TP in a moment, and they're going to come down for Bulldog again. Because his Bear is up and running, and Admiral Bulldog, you see what he's building into.
Yeah,
he can pop his hand to Midas, and yeah, he's going to get a Sacred Relic up and running. And he's going to come up to the creep wave.
Time.
This is it. This is the moment. Now they see him. Haste Rune on the Bane. He'll come in. They've got to lock down this Bear, though. So Nightmare on one, Fiend's Grip on the other. And now Nightmare is going to be taken by the Bear. Leshrac's done, and Feeble up on one with the Brain Sap. The Weaver is also down here on the bottom lane. And Jotum, he's going to get entangled up finally. Ice Path from EGM trying to help him off, and Clockwork latches in. There's your toss. Actually pushing EGM in closer. He got the Macro Pyre off. Lone Drawer did go down. Now the Fiend's Grip over to S4. A follow-up Leshrac's done with the Avalanche toss too. And that is a horrible position for the Jakiro to be in. 3 heroes lost. RK is going to come in with a familiar stomp, but the Soul Assumption not enough to kill off the Nature's Prophet. The quick Grave Chill, but you get tossed back out again, and he's going to go down. 4 heroes lost for Alliance on this bottom lane. And zRage, they are looking to make this group stage very, very interesting.
Toby, Loda didn't TP in during that whole engagement. He was just farming top lane, and zRage lost 2 of their players. But wow, I'm actually so surprised that Loda did not TP in at all. It would have been a slow TP. There were about 2 TPs and 1 rotation by walk, along with the fact that Bulldog was already there. So it would have been like a 5-6 second TP, but nevertheless, I don't know. If he was there in the middle of that with Rage, with Open Wounds, and with Infest, I feel like he could have just killed 4 heroes while everybody was alive. And the fact that their Lifestealer, their best fighting hero, arguably, at this point in the game, wasn't there, completely made the game. Somebody pause. Just...
It's like, Ink said go, and then all of a sudden, nope, they're still missing their 2 players again.
Yeah. Weird case scenario, but yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of baffled as to why Loda didn't TP on that one. I kind of get the feeling that they told him to stay top so he can catch up on his farm or something, but I'm not sure if that was just a good team decision or bad team decision rather. Regardless, it lost him the whole fight.
That's probably going to lose him the tier 1 tower on the bottom lane. Unfortunately, because of the DC, he's had to go back a little bit further, but Shafiq, he's got 4 points toss, and now it's all about bringing down that tower. And they can do a lot of quick damage to it as well. There's a familiar just over on the side there. It's just searching for a little bit of experience and just saying hello. At the same time, though, I don't want to lose that familiar. Is he going to try and deny this tower? Yeah, it was an attempted denial. And not going to work. And Shafiq goes back to base. He's up with 1,500 gold too now. And he's going to go into a 4-staff as opposed to going straight to the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, I guess it helps against the Clockwork, along with all the chasing things that are coming out of Alliance. Pardon me, almost said NTH. And it's, I don't know, I feel like it's not going to really help him in terms of the late game efficiency, but it's certainly going to help him fight better. So if his priority is to fight and maintain the control of the battles, 4-staff is definitely a fantastic choice.
Well, he does need to fight, man. If he doesn't fight, then Alliance start to get their space, and you get space on a Lone Drawer and a Life Stealer in the later portion of this game. You're not going to be able to stop it, especially once that Radiance is up and running. You'll have a split pushing Bear, and that's going to be enough just to counter off most of what Nature's Prophet's going to be doing, or at least take most of Nature's Prophet's time to try and hold the lines. So they need go items, just like Life Stealer. Now he finally gets one of his go items, that armlet, so crucial to have, and now he's finally got it.
Yep. In the meanwhile, Nature's Prophet's TPing top. They will be able to snipe this tier 2 tower unless rotations come in. I know Loda's
they
coming
want the
out.
rotation to come, but not from the entire team. There's smoke movement from the other 3 ZR boys. They're going into the Radiant jungle. They're looking for that opening on the middle lane. Who's left behind? Admiral Bulldog's the only one there, which means a quick Fiend script.
It's so close to the tower, Toby. It's too close to the tower. They shouldn't be doing this.
They want to give it a shot. There goes your Entangled. Throws the Bear away. Jotum, he's going to die from this one. Leshrak's done. Keeps Loda. Avalanche follow-up. Jotum, he doesn't go down to this tower. And now is too far in for Leshrak. Try and TP out. Bear Entangled. Clockwork while he tries to latch in. Ends up going to Arke. But Leshrak goes down. You're right. They were just way too deep in then.
Yeah, it's just, it happens so much when you just smoke and you want to kill so badly and you overextend and you just lose the whole scenario 2 times more than you could have. It's really unfortunate. zRage can't be giving up that kind of stuff because just as you said, man, I mean, the late game, especially with this Tiny going 4-staff instead of Aghanims, does not look good for them. The Weaver is not something that can efficiently fight a Lone Druid with Radiance as well as Lifestealer because both heroes are so tanky that they don't care about the damage coming out to them. They're more concerned with the damage they deal to you. So... yeah, man. It's Weaver being the sole carry. Once again, you know how I feel about that, so I don't think I'm gonna reiterate on that one.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's not something. It's not.
It's lackluster, in my opinion.
It's not something you enjoy. But then again, Weaver, he is having himself some fun. He's gonna go into a Mana style by the looks of it, and Nature's Prophet picks up his Shadow Blade at the same time as the Radiance does arrive. So both the split push abilities of Alliance and ZR arrive at the same time. I say abilities, with the Shadow Blade, it gives you so much more confidence just to keep pushing out the lanes and not instantly fall back. It's going to be a lot more aggressive. And this will be a tier 1 for a tier 1 trade. zRage take the mid tier 1, Alliance take the top tier 1, and Nexus continues to find his farm and space in that bottom lane.
So... Ping's coming out of S4. They have the ward. I'm surprised he didn't just latch into that. Oh, I guess S4 noticed the Shadow Blade and he doesn't have dust.
Oh, this is going to be ballsy if they can finish it off. The trees are coming down. The Radiant side, they don't have perfect vision of this one, but look at the Familiars coming in. The Rockets are coming in too. They know exactly what's going on, and zRage, they've got to bail from this. Or do they? At the same time, Loda, well, no, he does TP down. He TP'd to the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. And they're running up. ZR saw him too. He walked right underneath the Observer Ward. And they're going to back off to the high ground. The Bear's on the way in. Prophet already TP'd out before his teammates were away to safety. But looks like he doesn't care. He just wants to hold that top tier 2 tower. And now with them backed out, Alliance, they might just think to go in. Prophet already TP'd up towards that top lane. They could give this a shot. And that's why the Weaver bugs are coming in. Want to know instantly what Loda as well as the rest of Alliance are up to. And they know they're giving it a shot. Even Leshrak, follow-up's done. Keeping Loda low.
Oh dear, the cogs. They block him out completely.
But the cogs are going to go down in time though. Roshan, he's not dead just yet. 900 life points, 800, 700, 500. In comes next. Is he going to try and snipe off Roshan? Roshan, he got it! He got the Aegis Immortal. And time-lapsed himself back up to the high ground, even though it was the Radiant side that got the kill on Rosh.
Wow. Really, really nicely done. The time-lapse, the fact that there wasn't an ice path on top of the Rosh meant that the Weaver could guarantee the snatch. And needless to say, he got it. zRage, they really played that well. Leshrak was in a position that could land the stun without being caught in vision, because Clockwork could have very well just hooked up there, cog, and gotten himself out with the 4-staff. So, good of him to stay alive, and really nice rotation coming out of the Prophet as well. A lot of teams we see commit to Rosh like that, Ninja Rosh attempts, and then they just get team wiped and lose the Aegis. zRage really showing that they're a lot more experienced than they deem to be from their last game, and just making the right play, right call. Once again, they lost the Aegis gold, but they might just secure the kill.
Yeah, he's in trouble. 4-staff away for him, and
no.
that's not the direction the Rock wanted to face.
Oh no. that's really no bueno. That kill would have been big. They would have been able to guarantee or at least secure the tier
Oh,
2.
there's
for
a
sure.
toss. I don't know why, but it seems like Nexus wants to go suicidal. He's got Negacy Mortal is already triggered off, and Shafiq now in range of the tier 2 tower. Jottam brings up the only thing keeping him alive from Admiral Bulldog. A quick toss back. EGM's not looking too healthy, but at the same time, S4's already picked up a double kill, and that Radiance burn. The Bear's got to get closer. Loda's trying to stay with him as well, and there's your open wounds, and that's going to be Shafiq to go down. Lifestealer will take the kill, and ZR. They just have this desire to fight on top of towers. It happened
honestly,
again.
I don't get it, man. Like, this is just like GoBlack is just telling me this is why I left the team. Like, I don't understand. This is the 3rd time he tossed in a Weaver of all the people he could have tossed in, and just he keeps doing it time after time. Like that's just the most straightforward throw I've seen. Like, I seriously think he's just yelling YOLO while he's tossing the Weaver in or something.
It's quite literally a throw.
It's quite literally, you're right, it's quite literally a throw. Like, he just keeps throwing the Weaver. I don't understand what's his deal. Like,
Dire's middle tower
man,
has fallen.
hot damn.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Radiant's top tower
Maybe ZR like a challenge in life. Right now, they're challenged. They had an advantage before that fight. They had an advantage of about 2,000 experience, and now it's 1,000 the way of Alliance. Gold as well has never really left Alliance's favor, but ZR still managed to bring it down to 2,000, and now Weaver's in trouble on the bottom lane. Sentry want to drop. If he gets an entangle from this bear, then he's got something to play with. Next is going to time-lapse out of a decent amount of damage, and then S4. He went back down with the time-lapse in range of the Sentry Ward, and S4 just lashes in with an ulti and gets the kill. And now Tiny, Shafiq, Jottam, you want to go in? Pretty sure he's going to toss you if you stand next to him. Give her a shot.
I'm sorry. I'm still in shock as to what exactly happened. Yeah, they secured the kill on the Weaver. Very nicely done. Weaver was obviously way too far ahead. And this is once again Weaver becoming a liability slowly because she just doesn't have enough farm to contest the farm of Alliance. Once again, you did so well in the lanes, but then at the same time Alliance still maintained the top 3. And this is Shafiq going down. He has the Force Staff, but so does S4. Speaking of S4, where is he?
Not there, man. He doesn't need to be.
Oh.
He's back at base at the moment. And Lifestealer is definitely having a great time. Killing spree for him now. After all those early deaths that came out, he's now 6-3-1 on the board. And this network's going to really start to rip up. And I'm wondering, too, how long is it going to be before Alliance try and break this base up against ZR? Do they just, like, are they happy with just being patient? Or do they really, if they want to try and find an opening? Like, they're going to try and find one right now. EGM comes up with smoke. Ink didn't see him, though, I don't think. Nope, he goes into farming, so EGM will go with the dual breath to start with. Got to get that clock working close up. Try to ulti himself into that one. He's got the gem. Ice Path's going to miss as well. So it's a bit more of a stab in the dark there. I'm just praying he didn't hit the Jakiro either, but Ink did a good job. He used EGM as cover.
He really did. Yeah, very, very nice movements coming out of the Prophet. Dodged 2 skill shots, and it was any of them would have guaranteed the kill. So very nicely done by him. Of course, a little bit of a slower reaction. He kind of just saw EGM walk up to him and didn't react instantly, but he was able to get out nevertheless. And this is the thing. With this Nature's Prophet picking up the ultimate orb, zRage, they still have a very good chance of coming back with the Sheep Stick if it had kicked in without that kind of fight from last time. But this Weaver now, after all these deaths, Toby, he's got a Mithril Hammer in his inventory. I get the feeling that he's going to be forced into a BKB, in which case I can guarantee that he will do 0 damage in the team fight.
His only option is really to go a Desolator. That's his only real option in this game.
Yeah, pretty much. He needs the deeps. If he doesn't have the deeps, then, well, as the carry here, you're not carrying anything.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to take a risk. S4, perfect latch. He's going to solo up the Leshrac right now. That's a long, long latch as well. Level 2 ultimate. And got a pinpoint accuracy on the Leshrac. Which means now, mid-tier 3 tower. It's open season for it.
I'm not even sure if they're going to go for it, though.
If they get a kill right now on Shafiq, they definitely will.
Oh, S4 is not even engaging that. Wow. That's a bit of a surprise to me. I felt like he might just try to force staff in Cog. Force the Force Staff out of the Tiny, but yeah, they're going to go back. And you know what? Once again, just after the engagements that they've been having, they know for a fact that if Bulldog and Loda get their farm up, this Lifestealer plus Lone Druid combination Nothing from ZR is gonna take that away from them. Not even a 6-slotted Tiny, and actually, you know what? 6-slotted Tiny is the best chance they would have. But once again, that's not gonna happen so long as this Tiny doesn't have Aghanim Scepter and is not farming everywhere. So, I think Alliance should be very content with playing this safe, playing this back, and as I say that, S4 is latching in.
Yep, double damage rune on him. He's going to hold Shafiq in position, and Shafiq, well, he wants to toss him back out of here. He's going to toss him inside it with the Prophet Oli, but then Ice Path to hold him in position. He's already lost the bait at the back end. The Macropie did go down. S4 on very low life, but Prophet, he's trying to get close enough to him, and with that extra damage from the Shadow Blade, he will get the kill. Going to TP himself out, but Familiar drop stuns him up. And it becomes a 3-for-1 trade. S4 the initiation, and is it going to be more? No, it's not. TP out in time gets Leshrac back to base. And Weaver remains on the bottom lane. But with 3 euros down, this is now a ticket for Alliance to go in the mid.
Right. And with all their carries in pretty much full HP, I honestly don't see how they're gonna not take the Raxes. This Leshrac, the lone survivor, along with, well, there is a Weaver, but this Weaver's not gonna do much other than just throw out a level 1 Scarab. It's gonna get wiped out instantly, and once again, without the Tiny and the Nature's Prophet, who is their most farmed hero, they won't be able to stop this. But the Tiny does buy back, and Alliance, once again, they're actually backing off of this.
No reason to risk your #1 position, man.
No, there really isn't, and they're doing it the very safe way. It's gonna secure the victory as opposed to risking the victory.
I've been told as well now how to pronounce the wonderful name of the Leshrac. So we can put this one into our books of how to pronounce it.
Drum roll, please.
It's Harkon.
That is so anticlimactic.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be amazing, but Harkon is his name as the Leshrac.
Hako.
Yeah, just
Hako.
Hakon is the way to pronounce it. So, just to put that one into the books. Looks like
Actually, you know what? Thinking about Havost and Xbox, I think that makes sense. But yeah, zRage, they see this, and with the Bane going in first, if they Fiend's Grip first, man, they're gonna get wiped.
they're not going to do it. There goes your Fiend's Grip. Ice Path, they got him, and then in comes S4. He got them both caught inside the cogs. Tiny wants to help out. They might have killed off the Leshrac, but when the Infest damage came as well, they lost 2 instantly, and now over to Nature's Prophet. Nope, Shafiq is a bigger one to bring down. Loda getting the crackly arming up a little bit there, and then S4, again, that ulti with the Aghanim Scepter just keeps coming and coming. Double kill for Loda. And now with Admiral Bulldog arriving in the bottom lane, with the Vladimir's offering too, Loda's going to have all the life in the world, and they'll just push this tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. At the same time, Weaver does the right thing to push out the top lane, and he is going to go into the Desolator. But still, Alliance, they got it right, and it looks like we're going for the most complex game of tic-tac-toe.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe they're actually doing this. That's so cute. Oh man, EGM won. But yeah, you're right. Nexus is doing the best thing he can. But it's just, at this point, Toby, I don't think there's any way to put it, but it's too late, too little, too late.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's the hook. That's a dead Hakon.
What a beautiful latch in too. Just a move from S4. He latched him, and then he moved up after the battery assault was already cast, and then cogged him backwards to push him further to Alliance. Small maneuvers, but it's beautiful to see. And this will be Alliance taking the bottom racks. Mid lane looks like Nature's Prophet's trying to cause some troubles, but then Clockwork latched him. He's still caught on the edge of the macro pyre, which means Nature's Prophet will burn himself to death. And Loda, well, he's got Basher and a Monkey King bar up there. If he can't bash someone in this game, I don't know who can. Especially when Nexus moves out like he does. And then Shafiq, in he goes. Arcade takes the kill, and they'll move over to Jotum. And that's going to be his life going down too. Nightmare on the bear doesn't save him. RK gets a double kill, and then back over towards the Weaver. Not seeing that bash come out just yet. With the dust, they got some kind of reveal for him. But they may as well just take that mid-rax or go straight for the GG.
Yeah, most certainly. And ZR probably just talking it over with themselves right now, but once again, that bottom gank, man, it's just, oh, this Weaver's trying to be cute.
Trying to be a boss. Clockwork. S4 trying to force the latch on. He's not going to get him. That's going to be Leshrac to go down. There's your Desolator working hard for Nexus. S4's at -7 armor and taking a lot of damage from that, but at the same time, it is just straight for the GG. Alliance want to end this, give themselves a break before they come back for the EMS, and just stay tuned, peoples, as well. While this might be the last game for the defense for tonight, there will be the Raycall EMS 1. The last cup and the last chance for Alliance. It's such a crucial cup for them too. If they do not take the winning game, if they don't take the grand final and win the whole cup, they are basically out of the group stages. It's a real rough time because they played in one cup and they got 25 points. They've got to get 100 points in this cup if they want to get themselves through. And even then, it's going to be very contingent on a couple of teams taking critical losses. So, yeah, make sure you stay tuned for that one. It's going to be fun, and that one's going to be coming up in about 20 minutes' time, so the live stream will drop and come back up again with EMS overlays, but that is going to be it for the defense. Reminder, too, the other defense matches will be coming up. You can check all the details over on the-defense.com, but the next scheduled match for the defense is on the 12th of the 6th, so for people who don't know, that is going to be the Wednesday at 22 CEST. We've got late-night gaming with Quantic going up against 4FC. There are some other games scheduled as well, but just keep your eyes over on joindota.com for all of those ones. And of course, you can keep up to date with all the other great competitions going on. Starlight is on at the moment, so you can check out SLTV1's channel for that one. AC, a good friend of mine, casting up the D2 well. He's doing Liquid versus Virtus Pro right now. There are so many great games, but as always, you can check them to see what's live and who's streaming them over at JD.com. That is going to be it for tonight as far as defense goes, but stay tuned! We'll be coming back in just a couple of moments with your EMS live stream and the games to start in roughly 30 minutes' time. We'll see you then.
I said good day, sir!